Hi everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I've got another Sunday surprise tutorial, and this time I'm going to be using my Made to Surprise slider dies from the Die Cutting Essentials magazine, along with the Celebration stamp set, and I've also used one of my embossing folders here as well. So if you haven't seen the dies or this style, you just pull the tab and it will reveal the happy birthday. You can also have a hidden message here if you like, and then you've got that really fun topper that I've created, and I'll talk you through all of that throughout the tutorial. You've got the texture there with the embossing folder and the shine from the mirrored cardstock. I've also put some glossy accents just on the champagne there and the glasses, and then inside, using stamps from my collection, it says enjoy your day with some of the party poppers there. So you can have this if you want as a top folding card, or you can have it, and that's really intended to be displayed like this. Once it's open, it will just lay flat like that. So again, I'll just bring it up so you can see it a bit closer. I just think it's come together really, really well. So let me show you how to make it. Okay, so this is the die set from issue 74 of Die Cutting Essentials magazine. So you'll see you get your larger square, you get this kind of rectangle shape, and then you get the mechanism with these score lines and cut lines. You want the mechanism and the largest square first of all. Now I've already gone ahead and cut one in white, okay, using the largest square, but then I want to use this pattern paper, which is where, you know, what I'm going to use for the actual main mechanism. So just try and save some of the cardstock there. But you want to, you'll look on the back of your die and you'll see that you've got cut lines around 3 of the outer edges, and then you've just got a score line here, here and here. Okay, the score line end you want to face away from you, so you want this smaller rectangle facing you. Just bring that up a little bit there, and you're going to lay this inside this pattern piece. You want to make sure you've got an equal kind of border along the top and the bottom, and then you make sure your sides are the same there as well. Once you're happy with your placement, you want to just tack it all in place. So I'm going to just pop some tape together there and just another piece down the bottom there. So I'm going to run that through my machine. Okay, and then if you just carefully pop that out, what you want to do is the end, you have the end that's open facing you, you have your score line at the back there, just fold that back, and then the middle one will become a mountain fold, and then the one in the front will become a valley. And you'll see now you've got your slider shape there. So we can pop all those back, and then you'll just want that rectangular one in a moment. So now what's going to happen is that's going to stick onto here for me to stamp my message in a moment. I'm actually going to be sticking this onto a larger 6x6 card blank. So the reason I've cut that extra white piece is because I'm going to stick this onto this pink piece. And obviously I can't stamp onto this because I've embossed it, but I'm going to have it like this. Okay, now if you want to, you could just stick that onto the middle of the card, and you could stamp directly onto the front of the card blank, or you can keep this as the smaller little card that it's designed for and pop it on a little 4x4 note card. So I used my balloon embossing folder. I love this one. I just think it's such a cool design. You've got the stars there as well, and you could add glitter onto the stars if you wanted to, and it's a great one for inking up as well. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to stick this straight onto my 6x6 card blank. So this is a piece of 5 3/4 squares. I'm going to have it as a top fold, but you can obviously have it, you know, as a side fold if you want. And like I said, this can be any size card. You might be popping it onto a 5x7 card blank, maybe an 8x8. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to stick this down. So that's all stuck down. I'm going to go back to this piece, and you want to grab a pencil, sit this perfectly over the white piece, or if you're, you know, doing this onto your card front, just sit it in the center if you're working on this piece here. Bring this up as high as you want it really, and this here is going to be the space for your message. Now I want to use the happy birthday stamp in here, so I can kind of just see the width that needs to be. So I'm just going to come up a little bit higher, and then very lightly I'm just going to mark the pencil along the 4 sides there. Take that away, and now I can see the space where I need to stamp my message. So I'm going to take that one away because I'm going to have this surprise, which I've already die cut. That's going to go on the front, and then it's going to say happy birthday inside. So I'm just going to ink that up and then just stamp that down. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then you just want to rub out those pencil marks. And I think I'm going to have my pull tabs going to be this gold mirrored card, which will match all of the other bits that I've already die cut. So it's that in between piece. Okay, so you've used your larger one and you've used your mechanism. It's that rectangular one that I'm cutting now. And you may also want to cut your pull tab. So you actually have two options here. So with this piece here, before you stick it down, you have this little finger pull. Now you could lay that on the top. You want the score lines to sit on the top of this piece, and it will just cut a tiny little half moon out of the top there. Or you've got this pull tab here, and I actually like this one. So I've already die cut that in the gold there. So it's going to attach to this piece once I've die cut it. Okay, so that's all cut. Now you could have this as another white piece, and you might want to stamp another message on it. It's entirely up to you. Okay, next you want this piece, and you're going to add tape on the back side of this flap here, this small tab. So I'm just going to run a couple of strips like so, just release the backing. And then you want this piece here, your gold piece or whatever colour you've done, and you want the narrower end you're going to stick down here. So I like to lay it down, make sure you've got an equal amount overhanging, and then just keep sliding it until you line it up with the bottom of that cut line, like so. And you'll see it will line up perfectly here as well. So now once we add that, you'll be able to pull this and it will pull up this piece here. Like I said, you can have a message there if you want, but I'm going to leave it blank. With this piece here, because I'm using mirrored cardstock, I'm just going to run another little thin strip of the red tape, and then I'm just going to lay, you're sticking it onto the back of this, for me the gold piece, so I'm just going to lay that down because I know it's going to stick on there, and you just want it in the middle of this section like so, and now you'll see you'll be able to pull that up. Next I'm going to grab this piece and I want to stick this onto here. Okay, but you need to make sure you've got a thin tape. So again, this is the red tape, red liner tape, and this is, I think, is it the 3mm? Yeah, it's a 3mm. It's a, I think it's a Crafter's Companion one. So I'm just going to lay that. It fits perfectly down the side here. Make sure everything's obviously up the right way, and then I'm just going to start from the bottom, get that all lined up, and then just stick those sides down. Okay, so once that's stuck down, you'll now be able to pull that up, and you'll see you'll reveal your message, and then I'm going to stick that onto there. Now, if you've got this stuck on the back, when you go to close it, it shouldn't catch, but it might catch. What I would suggest you do, because no one will ever see this piece now, is just take the bulk out. And I'm going to remove, I'm just going to pop a little triangle shape, because that way, if this does get sent off in an envelope, you know, by the time these things kind of lay flat, you never really know how they're going to function. But now, no one's going to see it. We're going to stick it all onto the card, but it just means that that can slide quite nicely into that space. Just make that look a bit neater. Like I said, no one's going to see it, but there we go. All right. So now I'm going to stick this onto my top fold card. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue, and then just, in fact, before I stick that on there, I have cut this piece here, which is just slightly bigger. I'm going to pop it on here because I quite like the thought of having a bit of a white border. And now I'm going to stick this down, so you don't have to do that. That's just me being picky with the pink. I want something to break up that pink on the card, and then this pattern paper that I've used. So I've just got a little bit of the white in between there. So let's stick that all down. Just give that a minute to dry because there's quite a lot of glue on all of this. Okay, so that's now stuck, so I can just pull the top there, and you can see your message is revealed. So I'm going to keep it open now, like upright, because I can start sticking down all my designs. So I have made these little rosettes. I love making rosettes. These are 1 inch wide by A4 or letter paper size, or even 12 inches. It's entirely up to you. And you just score every 1/4 of an inch for these thinner ones. Concertina fold, join them together, and then just stick it in the middle. It's really, really easy. I have a tutorial on, well, I've got quite a few on rosettes, and I'll link that up here. But I thought about having 2 of them kind of stacked up on each other. So I'll end up putting this in a box envelope, but I'm going to kind of have them stuck there. And then I've die cut the surprise from the die set. So it's just this one here. And then I've also die cut the cupcake. And I've done the gold kind of cream on the top there. So I'm thinking about having the cupcake on the side, having the, might put some foam behind that one, the rosettes on the left. So it's going to be like this. And then I have the stamped images that I've coloured here. I'm going to make some little spirals with those little scrap pieces, but I've just taken these images all here and this one here, and I've just coloured them to match. So I'm going to have the 18 stuck on the cake like so. I think that looks really cute. And then I'm just going to kind of feed these, stick some of them on the rosettes, and just kind of play around really. So I'm going to pop it on high speed, get my glue gun on, and just start decorating the front there. Everything stuck down. I think it looks really cool, and again you can just pull the tab really easily and you can see how nicely that all stands up. But I do want to just add a few of these, they're just little very small slithers of the gold cardstock, and if you just get something thin to wrap it around, so I'm just going to use this paintbrush here. So you just want to wrap it around. You don't have to do it like this. You don't have to have it this tight of a spiral, but just wrap it around. And then when you take it away, you'll see you get that little spring, and they're quite nice to just stick in. You just kind of stick them on, and they just give it that party celebration kind of feel. So I'm just going to use my glue and just pop it on just a little part of it there. And just kind of tuck them. I'm going to tuck them in parts of the rosette there. So there's the finished card. I think it looks wonderful. I would recommend sticking these, if you like this idea, stick them on straight behind wherever it is, and then twist them. It's much easier actually to get that spiral when they're attached at one end. But it looks really nice as it is. So if the person does decide they want to just display it as a top fold card, they can. But the idea with these sliding easel cards is that it's displayed and they can keep the card like that. I think it makes a really nice 18th or 21st birthday card. I think it's lots of fun. So that just goes down nicely. And then inside I've used, again from the same stamp set, I've used the kind of party poppers there and the enjoy your day. So there it is. So really, really nice slider card using that die set from the magazine and then bits and pieces from my own collections. I think it's come together really well. So I hope you've enjoyed another Sunday surprise tutorial from me today. As always, everything will be linked in the description box below. Check out some of the tutorials that are popping up now. You might want to watch those next. And if you've enjoyed this tutorial and you haven't subscribed to my channel, then hit that subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and then you'll be notified every time I upload a new tutorial. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back again soon. Bye.